Hello, Indonesia. This is Inigo Pascual. Check out my interview on CreativeDisc.com, the number one music website in Indonesia.
Hey, city lovers, this is Tunde Yuwono with another Creative Disc exclusive interview. And today, I would like to introduce you to the next big thing. He's like the Philippines version of Afghan in Indonesia, and he's ready to grab your attention with his amazing songs and swoon-worthy voice. So here's with me now, Inigo Pascual. Hi, Inigo. How are you?
Hi, Dundi. Thank you so much for having me. Hello, Creative Disc. Thank you so much for featuring me today.
So this is the first time we are interviewing you, Inigo Pascual from the Philippines. So how's everything down there? Are you in the Philippines right now?
I'm in the Philippines at the moment. Everything's good. We're about to have I think, our third quarantine lockdown. So,
Right.
we're getting things done so that by the time we go to quarantine, at least we have everything prepared.
Yes.
The vaccines are, the rollout's good. And I just hope that this pandemic would be over so that I could, finally travel and hopefully visit Indonesia.
Yes. Yes. Totally agree because I'm me myself. I feel so exhausted with this pandemic situation that happened for two
Mhm.
years now. Can you imagine this happening
I know.
almost 2 years? It's crazy, man. So, what
Yeah.
are you doing lately, Inigo? Instead of doing some promo, of course.
Mhm. Well, lately I've been spending a lot of time with my family. My grandfather was here for a time. Now he's
Mhm.
back in the States. But I've just been, working a lot. We've been working so much on this album. It's not just an album. We've been working on a lot of things that we've prepared for our listeners, of course. We have a deluxe version of options coming out soon, and
Wow.
a special. I don't know if I'm allowed to share it, but we have something prepared for you guys,
Mhm.
for the listeners, for the supporters, and I can't wait for everyone to know what it is.
Ooh, I can't wait, especially the deluxe version. Do we have any dates or you are not allowed to say that yet?
Asking. I'm so sorry. I don't have it memorized. I'm not sure if we have a date on it yet. I'm so
Okay.
embarrassed. In a couple of weeks, yes. So we'll have this. It's
Ooh,
coming this August. So if you have more updates, just follow me on my social media account so that you can stay updated.
of course, of course. So it's been nice to talk to the neighbor country, because Indonesia and the Philippines it's not that far. And if only the Philippines is
Yeah.
one of the country that I'd love to see someday. I'd love to visit someday, right? And what is as a Filipino,
Yeah.
what is the thing that I have to go when I visit Philippines?
When you visit Philippines, you have to make sure you visit our beaches. We have this place called Siargao.
Okay,
Um, and what else? Boracay. Boracay is one
Rakay.
of my favorite places
Yes.
to go to as well.
Mhm.
And there's this one secret. It's not a secret, but there's this one um place that I love going to. Not a lot of people know about it yet, but it's Sikihor.
Sikihor.
So that's definitely like it's one of the clearest waters I've ever seen
Oh,
in my whole life.
okay, okay. I will put
Yeah.
it on my list so that we can like go there. I will go there if I visit the Philippines because my
Yeah.
friend before the
Take you
pandemic
around.
my friend and I we already like planning to go like around Asia in Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam.
Mhm.
I really curious about exploring those countries, and the Philippines is one of them. So
Yeah.
thank you for the recommendation, by the way.
Of course, of course. I want to go to Indonesia. I want to visit Indonesia. I've only been once, but
Sure.
I was there only for 3 days. So hopefully soon.
Ooh, okay. So what were you doing in Indonesia that time?
I did a race for one of my brands that I'm working with. So I did this I think it was just a yeah, it was just running. I did a race with them. But I didn't do much. I was only there for 3 days. So
Right.
hopefully when I come back to Indonesia, I get to spend more time.
Right. Yeah, because we also have some great beaches here, so you have to visit one of the beaches here, because yeah, it Indonesia. It's all the people say that Indonesia is about leisure, so you're gonna be
Mhm.
have some great time in here. I hope that we will see each other soon. Yeah. So let's get to know
Yes.
you more a little bit, Inigo. In 2017, I stumbled upon your version of "Remember Me." Coco soundtrack, which at the
Mhm.
time also Coco was a huge animated movie, right? And you also performed virtually
Mhm.
on 88 Rising, Asia Rising Forever. And this year, finally you release your second album and also the first global album, Options the album. How's the journey from your point of view though, Inigo?
Well, I'm just happy that I'm able to create music, and I'm thankful for Tarshi Records, for the whole team that I've been working with, because they didn't stop working on the album. They really pushed for the album even if there's a pandemic going on, and I'm glad to be able to entertain, to be able to um make people happy, through our music
Right.
that we're creating. And for me, I'm just enjoying everything. I'm not trying to pressure myself to have to do certain things.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just enjoying the whole journey, the whole ride, and I'm just glad to be able to connect with people through my music. And yeah, I mean, it's been fun. It's been really fun, and even to know that my music is being played in Indonesia, that's a dream come true for me. So thank you
Yeah.
so much to our listeners in Indonesia.
Cool. So I've heard that this album took 2 years, the whole 2 years to create.
Mhm.
Any reason why it took so long? That long, man.
Um, when we first started this album, we didn't know where it was gonna go. We didn't know if we're just gonna be releasing a couple singles, or if it was gonna be an EP. But we were able to collaborate with so many different producers, so many different artists, and you know, uh, with the amount of songs that we created, we decided that we were gonna make an album, and I'm grateful for that, since it's been so long since I was able to put out an album. I mean, it's my second album,
Yeah.
and I'm just glad, that they pushed for it and they didn't put it on hold.
So you mentioning the first album. So before the interview, I also heard your first album back in 2016, right? And the first one and the
Yeah, I
second
was so
one,
young.
I feel like at first I heard the first one and the second one. I feel so much growth in terms of your musicality, lyrics, and even the music video that you had. It's so much
You.
growth in Inigo Pascual. And from your point of view, though, what is the thing that what is it like? Feel so much change in you.
To be honest, with my music, I felt like with this album, I became more open, more transparent, and vulnerable. And I think that's what showed that there was growth, and I feel like I also grew, in the span of 2 years
Yeah.
that we worked on this. I was able to learn a lot about myself, about my music, and how I really wanted to sound. And yeah, this song definitely helped me mature as an artist. I think with this album, I had more creative space and more um, space to collaborate with many producers that I learned so much from. I think that's the cool thing with this album also, is that I was able to work with so many different artists, different producers, and it taught me so much. That there's so many different ways or processes that you can create songs.
Right.
One of which was I was in the States. I worked with a producer named Harv, and we spent 12
Yeah.
hours every day
Yeah.
to create a song from nothing to something at the end of the
Yeah.
day. Like we had like no song in the beginning, and then 12 hours we have one complete song.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you took that time that took that 2 years to create this song because I believe that
Hmm.
good things come to those who wait. That's the word that I really and grabbed into my
That's good.
mind
Yeah.
these days. So after I heard this album, I really digging into your music even more because I know that Inigo Pascual back in Coco a soundtrack, and then after heard this album, I was like, okay, here's really growth. I feel that way too. So Inigo, what is the thing? Let's take you back to the first time you released music. What is the thing that makes you chose music as your career as well?
Mhm. I've always loved music, even when I was a student.
Mm.
I did choir, I did musical theater, and I felt like music was something that helped me found who I am as a person. It was my outlet. Every time I had an intense emotion, whether it be sad or happy,
Yeah.
I always gravitated towards music. It was my source of happiness. Whenever I felt heartbroken, there was always a song to describe how I felt. Um, but one of the struggles that I had was when I first started my career, I was acting, and for 3 years I couldn't really create music. But every time I had an audition, I would always write in the resume, I'm a musician, songwriter, just so that I could squeeze that in there.
Right.
So yeah, I've always wanted to create music. I'm grateful for the opportunity that's been given to me to really create songs.
So you also co-wrote this album as well, right? How does that feel?
I'm happy. I'm super, super happy for, the opportunity given to me to be able to share even my own compositions. And with this album, I really had more space to be creative and to collaborate with, to really share my own inputs. And it feels good to be able to say that I have songs in the album that I wrote and that I co-wrote as well.
Great. So speaking about acting, you've been in an acting industry for 3 years, if I'm not misheard, right? So not only musician, you are also an actor. Is there any like possibilities though that you're gonna play another movie in near future, or perhaps do an act in Indonesia? Because there are a couple of Filipino
Let's
actors,
do
if
it.
I'm not mistaken, who also play soap opera here in
Jericho,
Indonesia, right?
what's his name?
Consul Leo, if I'm not mistaken, he's from Filipino,
Oh yeah,
I believe,
Leo.
right?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like way too
We're from
popular
the
here
same
in Indonesia.
management. Yeah,
I imagine that you played
yeah,
some soap opera in Indonesia, or perhaps a movie in Indonesia. That would be
yeah.
a great killer as
I
well,
would
right?
love to. I would
As
love to
well.
do that. Yeah, he's actually one of my friends. I've met Leo a couple times. We're from the same management. So hopefully if given the chance and the opportunity to work in Indonesia, I would love to.
All right. So imagine if Indonesian people know you through this interview, what song you recommended to them to listen to know Inigo
Album.
Pascual?
Uh, I would recommend Catching Feelings.
I like that song too. Oh my god,
Yeah.
man, that that's bullseye. That literally my favorite song in the album. You know,
Thank you
because
so much.
I mean, I'm really dig into your story in that particular song, man.
Yeah.
So
Thank you so much, Dundi. Thank you. I
catching
love
feeling
that
it is.
song.
Catching feeling it is for
It's
Indonesian
Catching
people who
Feelings.
want to know Inigo Pascual a little bit better. Why is that song?
I feel like Catching Feelings really shows who I am as a singer, or shows who I am as an artist.
Right.
I've always wanted to just create songs that it's easy to listen to, easy to sing as well. And Catching Feelings is one of those songs that when I perform it, it's easy for people to just sing, I'm
Yes.
catching feelings for you. I feel like whenever I hear people singing that, it's like, yo, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to create songs that people would be able to sing with me.
Mm, mm. Great, great, great. I also
Yeah.
imagine that whenever you perform that song live and the people goes that crazy of that particular part, that would be great though.
Mhm.
Okay, so my last two questions for you, Inigo. Here's the question that I ask to many musicians because I want to know what is their definition of music. So, what is the definition of music based on your point of
Definition of music. Music is something that connects people, whether it doesn't matter what country or what race or what background you're from. Music is something that everyone speaks,
yes?
and music is universal. Music is something that can express your emotions, and it goes beyond words.
Here, here. I totally agree with that as well because we can connect to music although we are not speaking the same language, right?
Yeah.
So, last question from me. Is there any message to your Indonesian fans who happen to know you way long than this interview?
Yeah. Well, of course, I just want to thank you so much for having me here, Dundi, for having me today. And if I just want to say thank you to all our Indonesian listeners, and I hope to meet you guys one day. And please do check this interview out. Also, you can follow me on my social media accounts. It's just Inigo Pascual. And yeah, I mean, please do watch out for more of my music. We have a deluxe version of this album coming very soon, this August. And yeah, thank you so much for having me, Dundi. I
Thank
want to
you
say
so
thank
much.
you in Indonesian. How do you say it again?
Terima kasih.
How do you say thank you again in Bahasa? Terima kasih.
Woo! Okay,
Thank you
I
so
will
much.
teach you some Indonesian when you come to Indonesia, right? So that you can record
Please,
in
please do.
Indonesian language. Inigo, thank you so much for your
Yeah,
time to have this interview. It's such a blessing for
thank you
me,
so
and
much,
I hope
Dundi.
to see you in Indonesia pretty soon.
Claiming it. Thank you.